What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune in and you check out the channel and the content. And with that being said, man, I wanna react to a episode of Carmelo Anthony's show. Carmelo Anthony was asked about defense, right? About the defense that Luca played, and essentially the question was, can Luca be a can he win a championship playing defense the way he play, right? And so if you watch basketball and you know if you watch Carmelo Anthony play, you know that Carmelo Anthony was not himself. He wasn't really a good defender, right? And so Carmelo Anthony kind of danced around this and gave this bogus excuse. Now I'm trying. I want to play the video, not just the audio, but I want to play the video from Carmelo Anthony, and he had also had, like I said, he had PJ Tucker on there. PJ Tucker was a very good defender, right? And if you listen to Carmelo Anthony's answer, like I said, his answer is bogus, and then PJ Tucker in a way kind of he kind of goes against the answer and contradicts what Carmelo Anthony says, right? So I'm gonna pull it up and hopefully I don't get flagged for this. But like I said, listen to Carmelo Anthony's answer about defense, and I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with Carmelo Anthony.
Luca does so much offensively, but can a team with their best player being so good offensively and that much of a liability on the other side of the ball win a championship? Not even win a championship, be in contention for a championship.
Let me just put a disclaimer out there.
Go for it.
And I always talk to you about my own personal experience. I would never talk to you about somebody else. My personal experience. I'm not a I was never considered a lockdown nigga. Like, you get what I'm saying, Pete? Like, we talked about this before. Like, respect the honesty, man. Listen, I'm never
honest brother.
The way people hold people to be defensive player, I would never be a PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I never looked at being a PJ Tucker. I never looked at being none of that. But I respected it, right? And I respected the craft and I respected the grind. What I did have was IQ of the game, right? Being a smart defender, right? I don't want to lock you down. I'd rather he gonna lock you down. He gonna lock Nick. I want to be a smart defender. I want to learn coverages. I want to learn what teams are doing. I want to learn what this player tendencies are. I want to learn what happened when the play breaks down.
All right, so why would you want to be a smart defender and learn coverages and learn a person's tendency if you're not going to take advantage of that knowledge that you have, right? So right there is letting you know that his answer is bogus and he making up a bunch of excuses. You know, I like Carmelo Anthony, you know, as a basketball player. I mean, this dude, in my opinion, like, was at his peak, damn near was unstoppable, right? But when you playing basketball, in my opinion, offense is probably only like 25% of the game. You got offense. I mean, your scoring is only 25% of the game. You got your offense, your ability to score, your ability to get your teammates involved. That's another part of it. Then you got the defense, right? And then you have on the defense, like, your ability to like stop people and get rebounds and stuff like that. So offense at most, I think at best, when you get to an exceptional player like Luca and an exceptional offensive player like Carmelo, it's probably about 33% of the game, right? And so if they only playing 33%, let's stretch it to 50%. If they only playing 50% of the game, then that means that you're going to be able to beat those guys in the long run. And so even in this, like, the examples that Carmelo Anthony used for guys who are excellent at offense, these guys don't have championships. He talked about himself, he talked about Luca, and he talked about excuse me, he talked about James Harden, right? These guys don't have championships. when you look at guys who have championships, they did it at both ends. You're talking about, and I'm going for like a small guard like Isaiah Thomas. When you look at the Detroit Pistons back in the day, like if you was on the Detroit Pistons you couldn't get on the court unless you could play defense, right? So you had Joe Dumars, he played defense. Joe Dumars' job was to play, his primary job was to, like he matched up with Mike every time. Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas played tough defense. John Sally, everybody on the, Dennis Rodman, Vinny the Microwave Johnson, right? You couldn't get on the court back in those days if you couldn't play defense. And the thing about it is, almost every NBA player that you see at one point in time was like a star, either in high school or in college. Like they could fill it up. And you look at guys like Patrick Beverly. I think Patrick Beverly comes from Chicago. In Chicago, in high school, this guy used to light it up. Drew Holiday. I don't know where Drew Holiday come from, but in high school, this guy used to light it up. And he had a really good college career, right? Everybody can score, right? Look at Muggsy Bogues, right? Everybody know that Muggsy Bogues, excellent point guard, excellent at penetrating and hitting the open man. And what got Muggsy drafted though was his ability to disrupt other teams' offense. You had to be, and he got steals. So Carmelo Anthony knows this. He's been in the league long enough to know, and he's not giving people an honest answer because he don't want to hold himself accountable, right? And he has a son his son is a beast, right? Kion Anthony at Syracuse, he a beast. And I bet you $3 that he would not give this answer to his son Kion. He would tell Kion, man, you got to strap up at both ends. Take it from me as your father. You need to strap up at both ends. And we're going to get to see Kion at the next level, I believe. I mean, it ain't no question that we're going to be able to see this kid at the next level because he's just that good. But let's get back to some more of what Carmelo Anthony is saying about defense.
And it's a second option or sometimes third options. Like I want to learn when to load the court. I want to learn when to be there, when to show, when to hedge. These are things that I was effective at, the IQ of the game, right? Now.
All right, so if you're effective at the IQ of the game, you know that on nights where you have every shooter is off, like you don't have off nights. You'll have off nights as an offensive player, right? Your jumper sometimes ain't falling, but you can always play defense. You can always box out. You don't have an off night boxing out. You don't have an off night, like challenging people on defense. That is the defensive end. That's just like, it's like if you want to strap up and you want to put forth that effort, then you're going to put it together. So I repeat, like what's the use of acquiring all this knowledge and all these skills if you're not going to use it to your advantage? That's what Kobe did. Like if Kobe watched film and you had tendencies, Kobe would use those tendencies against you. That's what made Kobe a great defender, on a defensive end. And so, like I said, you can't make excuses for these guys who don't play defense and they wind up not really, they're not going to get championships playing this style of basketball. I know Carmelo Anthony don't have a championship. James Harden is looking like, he just went to Cleveland. He not going to get a championship. And if Luka don't play defense, it's going to be hard for him to get championships. Even Steph Curry, man, he gives effort.
And I like to score. I love to score. I love to score. I love to score. I want to paint that picture and give context to me as an individual. Right?
I love that.
What Luka does is nowhere near that. I think Luka IQ of the game is so fucking high on how to dictate the game, how to manipulate the game, how to get himself going. He's going to shoot. He's going to, he's going to get himself in the rhythm. He's a smart ass player. Dallas did a great job of putting Luka in positions that hit him. And I don't like to use the word hit or hide a nigga, but they put him in a situation where they hit him, right, to where he don't have to be in the action.
Yeah.
No mismatches, no nothing. The Lakers, right, because of the way that they're played, their scheme and their strategies, you cannot hide Luka anymore.
All right, so let me say this. With Luka, like basketball has always been played that way, whereas though the weakest link, that's the one you go at the weakest link on a team. And if that's Luka, then you're gonna go at it. They did the same thing with Steph Curry, right? So, but Steph Curry like I said, he gives you that effort on defense. He's not, I think Steph Curry like 6'2", but and Steph Curry is strong. So people try to they try to post Steph Curry up. He's strong now. He went to the weight room, and it's not as easy to post Steph Curry up, as it was when he first got into the league. Now, and then he know other little tricks, and he put forth that effort on defense, whereas though it's not just a bucket. Like he's not an automatic bucket for the other team when he go down there against Steph Curry. So, and that's how basketball, like I said, used to be. You can't get on the court. Everybody can score in the NBA, man. Those guys, man, even guys like, and I'm getting ready to make a video about Dennis Rodman, right? Not his rebounding, not his defense, but his 3-point shooting. And it'll probably come out the same, the same day that this video come out. But Dennis Rodman, if you leave Dennis Rodman open, he gonna hit a 3-pointer. And so teams, when he was with Chicago, and Detroit to a certain extent too, teams was so focused on his teammates, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, that they leave Dennis Rodman wide open. And Dennis it was showtime for him, man. He'll hit a wide open 3, and then so you feel defeated because you double teaming Mike. And you watching Dennis is like the 4th option as far as scoring, maybe the 5th option as far as scoring. Dennis is the 5th option, and he's still knocking down 3-pointers. But Dennis, you'll never see any other player like Dennis Rodman. His full focus was defense, and you can't get these guys who can score lights out to put 25% of their effort in defense, man. And this guy, I mean, like most of Dennis, I would say 90% of what he did on the court, or maybe 99% was focused on defense, rebounding, and taking his opponent mentally out of the game. And you're not going to see nobody like Dennis Rodman again. But let me get back to what Carmelo Anthony is saying, man. I just want to basically, just contradict a lot of the stuff that he's saying.
Because teams are headhunting now. There's no more high Luka. That narrative is around the league.
They headhunted him in the finals.
But it's teams. It's all based on teams, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you watch the Boston, the finals, I've been on teams where that's our whole offensive scheme is going at one dude.
Yeah.
If he guarding you, then you're in action.
Stop.
Come on.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's PJ Tucker, right? That's the truth. If you the weak link, I said it earlier in the video, if you are the weak link on that team, they're going to go at you because it's an easy bucket, right? You always take the path of least resistance. That's only natural, to take the path of least resistance, right? And if Luka not playing no defense, then, why would you go at somebody who like to strap up? Like, you're not going to go at Kobe. If you got Kobe and Luka on the same team, you're not going at Kobe, because Kobe has accepted that challenge, But if Luka is going to give you a layup, of course you're going to go at Luka. So, and PJ Tucker is contradicting whatever, what Carmelo Anthony is saying.
You started this show by saying,
let's talk about it.
Different.
It
Nobody is going in the scouting report saying how to stop Luka.
Right.
Nobody, because they're just coming in the locker room saying, Luka gonna get his 35.
All right, and so the reason why people not going into the locker room talking about stopping Luka is because Luka will get us 35, but he's gonna give up 40 or 50 points. And sometimes not directly, not like his man not gonna score 40 or 50 points, but his man is gonna break that defense down so bad where you have to help, and then other people gonna get involved, and it's just gonna be a lot of scoring going on. So why stop Luka? Why stop Luka if Luka not even going to make an effort to play defense, right? And so now PJ Tucker is going to get into how it feels as a exceptional defender when you have somebody like Luka or James Harden or Carmelo Anthony, and they don't put forth no effort. He gonna get into that in a little bit. Let me see how much.
This is what they're saying.
Some teams,
the teams that really is focused on stopping Luka is effective at times, right? They want to take chances anymore. James Harden, for an example, niggas was sending 2-3 niggas at this nigga at half court.
For sure.
They don't give a fuck what PJ do. They don't give a fuck what Trevor do. They don't give a fuck what nobody else does.
Yes.
We sending motherfuckers at James at half court.
All right, let me say this. And the reason why you can get away with sending people at James Harden is because James Harden he's a ball dominant guard. So he's going to dribble at least half of that 24-second clock down, right? And so if now throughout the regular season, he probably even dribbled more than that down. But if he dribble at least half of that 24-second clock down and his teammates get the ball, I'm thinking probably like, say you get the ball with like 5 seconds. Now you got to make something happen with 5 seconds, 6 seconds to go on it. It's just like 6. I mean, it's like as soon as you get the ball, it's the countdown. And so your offense really can't get into a rhythm. That's why in playoffs, like these guys who hold a ball like that, these ball dominant guys who just want to score, they don't have no success. And that's easy on the defense. And you remember, James Harden always shoot poorly in the playoffs because defense tighten up. And so, but I want to get to what PJ Tucker is saying. Let me see if I can find like what PJ Tucker get in here, because he's going to start to contradict what Carmelo says about this. He's going to tell you how it feels to be a defender and to have a teammate who don't play defense.
Oh, he straight corner.
Yeah.
Like it ain't no.
Where he like look you off and throw that corner. Oh my God.
He'll drag a defense or a defensive player away from the help.
So it's a tag man, right? It's the guy helping the roll. You got it's a lob or your man go get a 3. And so he deal with that guy, right?
Nobody is tagging no more.
He looking right in your face.
Who's tagging, P?
Huh?
Nobody's tagging no more.
He's tagging everybody.
All right. And so when they say tagging, he talking about like when guards go through the lane or anybody go through the lane, you get bumped, right? And so that's how, the NBA is getting back to that, right? And that's why you're going to start to see more tempers flaring and more physical play and more fights and stuff like that, because people are going to start bumping you. Like PJ Tucker come from the old school, right? And that's why, you getting bumped going through the lane, that wears on you, especially as a guard. It just wears on you. And it plays into like how you are able to shoot and perform late in the game, even late into a playoff series. But all that is coming back because that's the only way to win and be effective on a consistent basis.
Everybody got to get touched, bro. Everybody got to come on, bro.
Not Chuck.
Ain't no free walks through the lane.
When I came here, you could Chuck.
Listen, you better be looking. You walking through that lane. You coming through that box. Not no more, though.
The lane is like a seat.
You getting checked every time. But you're right. I think to answer the question, though,
can the Lakers win like that?
Listen. It's not even can the Lakers win like that to me. As a player, right? I think it gotta come a time where it's like, yo, Luka's probably the best and one of the best scorers in the league. We all know that. We all know, like, offensively, creating shots for we know how great he is, bro. Mm-hmm. But if I'm his teammate, it's like the energy you spend. There's no way you ever expect him to guard like the best defenders on your team. There's no way you're gonna do what he do on offense and then think he'd be the greatest player ever lived. Like, come on, like it's not real, right? So it's like, yo, listen, I need you. What I do need you to do though, I need you to care about the other side as much as we care about this side, and helping me help you be able to get through these coverages and knowing coverages, knowing where you're sending people. Because you're not gonna guard. We're gonna put you on. He gonna put him on the corner man, right? He gonna guard me. He gonna guard, the fourth, fifth option on the starting lineup. They're gonna put him in those positions. But what I'm saying is, when you get in those situations, I need you to box out because you got on that other guy. Now you on the guy that's gonna work hard to get rebounds.
Run the margins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Run the margins.
I need you to.
All right, and then so BJ Tuck, BJ Tuck is talking about even if you playing a guy who's like their fifth option in scoring, you still gotta box that guy out and don't allow him to get easy buckets. And so Carmelo Anthony chipped in and he said, "We'll win the margins." But you can also win the margins without, without getting put on the fifth option on the other team. You got to win the margins, or you won't be able to win the game. So what he do though, those guys who just focus only on offense, is they increase the margin. Because they're only playing. They're only focused on one segment of the game, and that's offense. So that means on the other end, your offense has more margin for error. Like if you only worrying about shooting, then you got to be damn near perfect at the offensive end of the court. Luka got to be perfect at the offensive end of the court. Whereas though, if Luka not playing no defense down the other end, and he not boxing out. So when you shoot, you miss, you get your rebound and you follow it up. Luka not stopping nobody. So, so I think I pretty much made my point, right? My point is you got to play defense. You got to play both ends of the court. If you want to be considered like one of the greats of at least your era, or if you want to have an opportunity to win a championship, fans, people who watch basketball, they know you gotta play defense. You can't have any type of success. You can't build dynasties and stuff like that if you only focus on the offensive end of the game. And I just think for Carmelo Anthony, not to acknowledge that, right, and tell the next generation, like, look, you got to strap up at both ends. That's the only way you can do it. If you look at all the greats, man, and I don't always want to bring up Mike, so I'm gonna just say Kobe, Isaiah, even Bird, man. Bird was, like on-ball defender. Bird was probably average, but team defense, man, rebounding, boxing out, like he never missed those kind of assignments. I'm talking, he never missed those kind of assignments. I don't care who, and they didn't have to hide Bird and put Bird on a they didn't have to put Bird on on the worst player on the other team. Because you didn't have to hide Bird because he was going to box out. He was going to hit you just like everybody. That's what they did back in those days, and he was going to rebound. So team defense, he'll help his teammates out and get blocks, weak side blocks and stuff like. So basketball is getting back to that. It's getting back to that. And I just think that, man, when you give these kind of bogus excuses and say times is changing, basketball is basketball, and so that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.